Life is full of plot twists along the way.
I've come into possession of a villa in the south of France.
What? You never thought to turn it down?
Do I look as if I'd turn down a villa in the south of France?
Raquel, I love your storyline. Actually, Downton Abbey New Era is packed with storylines.
It is, isn't it?
So it's full to the brim of things happening to all the characters, more than usual. But one of my favorite storylines is yours because it is something that gives women agency, number one, and it's just so happy. Can you talk about it?
She's very much a woman of her time, and that she is happy to live in this exquisite longing and continue to be his lifelong friend and companion from a distance, if that's what he needs. I think when he actually speaks to her, though, she definitely says, if we're going to talk about it, I'm going to tell you the truth. And in that moment, she says, you know, call me Phyllis, I would have taken it. But I think in that moment, she's also thinking, he's not going to ask her.
Downton Abbey, a new era.
The modern world comes to Downton.
Drink to that.
The grand event begins, only in theaters.
There may be new faces coming in, but...
There's also the segment in which Hollywood comes a-calling to the Abbey.
Yeah.
And that is actually directly responsible for your moment. So it's a really nice way to pull you into that. How has how has Miss Baxter changed over the course of you playing her?
Quietly, quite a lot, I think. I mean, she's somebody who starts incredibly nervous. She's very much down on her luck. And the worst thing about it is it's entirely through her own choices. So the storyline with Peter Coyle was, you know, one when she was much younger, when she fell hook, line and sinker, for somebody who used her terribly and, you know, left her life in ruins. So for her to be given a second chance, albeit by Thomas Barrow, who wants to use her again. But then, of course, Mr. Molesley saves her in a way, or at least pulls out the strength in her to be who she truly is, which is honest, accept her misdemeanors, and also have the courage to go, and I will change and I can change. I think that's one of the magical things about Downton Abbey, the house, is that, you know, because there's so much love and respect between the characters, upstairs and downstairs, and between upstairs and downstairs, she does say times change and we must change with them. And she's thrilled to be going to France. She's, you know, if she were back watching the filming, she would really enjoy learning about that. So she is a woman that, you know, had she been born 10 to 20 years later, would have, I think, had her own career. She has the brain for it and the courage for it and all of that. That said, she loves looking after her mistress, and I believe that she'll continue to want to do that.
You can all look this way, please.
This Friday.
You steer ahead. You're the captain now.
You're part of a juggernaut, Downton Abbey, and it's an exclusive club. There's not a lot of shows that have gained this kind of popularity. It's really a small circle. And I wonder if it's changed you and your life and your work and your outlook.
I mean, I think because I already had a relatively established career, and because I'm an actor of a certain age, female actor of a certain age, I think it probably hasn't had the impact it would have had I been a man of this age, or if I were one of the younger actresses. You know, I've been on sets before where you know, the director or the costume people, and they're like, oh, and you know, your bit in Downton Abbey, and you're like, oh, that has helped me to get here.
Return to the theater.
Roll the camera and action.
For the ending that will leave you breathless.
Granny, you would tell me, wouldn't you? What do you think?
And I've heard whispers, I think we all have, and we've been waiting to hear them, of a third film. Why not another series so we can watch every week?
I know. I mean, that very rarely happens, doesn't it? Unless it's many, many years later and all the actors are even older. I don't know. I mean, I joined halfway through series 4, and I certainly wasn't ready for it to be over. So I'd come back in a heartbeat to whatever, format.
Women like us fall into 2 categories, dragons and fools.
Be there for the epic chapter that cannot be missed.
You must make sure they think of you as a dragon.
Downton Abbey, A New Era, rated PG. The motion picture event returns, only in theaters Friday.